Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Wynne-Jones, and I'm joined today by Tereska and Veronica.
Ahojte všetci, volám sa Wynne-Jones and hello. A dnes tu som s Veronikou a Tereskou.
And we're here today to have a little chat about Access X-Men, which I'm a facilitator of.
A dnes sa tu budeme trochu rozprávať o Access X-Men, ktoré ja facilitujem.
And most people, when they hear X-Men, they think of the Marvel comics, and it's not too far from the truth.
Väčšina ľudí, keď počuje X-Men alebo X-meni, tak si spomenie na tie Marvelovky, na komiksy a ono to ani tak ďaleko od pravdy nie je.
But the next question that most people have is, what is an X-Men?
A tá ďalšia otázka najčastejšia je, čo je X-Men?
So X-Men are the different ones. They're the ones that have never really fit in, and they're the ones that have always been looking for something else that's actually possible and available.
X-meni sú tí iní, ktorí nikdy nikam nezapadali, ktorí boli odlišní a hľadali vždy niečo iné, niečo ďalšie, čo je možné.
And a lot of X-Men have been diagnosed or undiagnosed with disabilities such as ADD, ADHD, OCD and autism.
A veľa X-menov bolo aj diagnostikovaných, alebo niektorí ani diagnózy nemajú, hej, ale ak to boli diagnózy tak typu ADHD, ADD, OCD, také tie obsesívne, kompulzívne, alebo autizmus.
Yeah, but what we've actually found is that, these things that have been labeled as disabilities are actually abilities that these X-Men have that they can use to create in a different way.
Ale to, na čo sme prišli časom, je, že tieto nálepky slabostí alebo diagnóz sú v skutočnosti silné stránky a schopnosti, ktoré môžu X-meni používať vo svoj prospech.
And you guys had a great question that you wanted to start with, so let's go there.
Okay. Thank you. I'm super happy that we are having actually this live with you.
Som šťastná, že sme tu na tomto liveku s tebou.
And I would like to ask you the question, like, how would you explain what does it mean X-Men to 5 years old?
A chcem sa ťa spýtať, ako by si vysvetlil 5-ročnému dieťaťu, čo to znamená X-Men?
It's a very good question, and I think for a lot of 5-year-olds, it's like they don't even have the recognition that what they are is like different. Usually that comes as an adult.
Uh-huh. A vlastne je to veľmi dobrá otázka a pre veľa z tých, pre veľa 5-ročných detí, veru, mne sa vypol mikrofón, ja som to nezachytila, čo povedal.
Mnoho 5letých dětí vlastně, že oni nemají tu definici, co přesně jsou nebo nejsou.
Aha. Že ono to prichádza akoby až s dospelosťou.
Tak.
Yeah, so for them it's just a being. It's like, they move fast. They always want to have more to do. It's like they're distracted very easily, and all of these things that are very common for X-Men, but for kids it's just normal.
Mm-hmm. Tak ono, pre tieto deti je to o bytí. Hýbu sa veľmi rýchlo, dokážu sa z jednej veci skočiť na druhú, hej, lebo akoby sa rozrušiť veľmi ľahko. A pre X-menov je toto fungovanie, takéto, pre deti tohto veku je to úplne normálne, takéto fungovanie akoby X-menov.
Like my son is 5 years old, and before he could walk and talk, he was able to put what he wanted in our heads, so we would know if he was hungry or if he was thirsty or if he needed something, because he would give us that information in a non-verbal way.
Mm-hmm. Predtým, než môj 5-ročný syn vedel rozprávať, tak nám v podstate tie svoje potreby dával do hlavy myšlienkou. My sme vždy vedeli, kedy má hlad, kedy je smedný a na to nepotreboval nutne slova.
Can I say something? I remember, I was in one class with you and Gary, and it was like a normal class, and you got facilitation, and Gary actually said that I always saw you and Saul and Silas when you are actually talking to each other without the words. Like you're looking at each other and you know exactly what you are saying, and it was actually fantastic. And I was like, oh my God, such a capacity. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
A bola som s tebou na jednom kurze, kde vlastne si bol facilitovaný. Pamätám si, že Gary povedal, že ja som sa vždy na vás so Silusom, s tvojím synom pozeral, ako v podstate ste vedeli, ako sa na seba pozeráte, komunikujete bez slov. A som si vravila, že to je krásna kapacita.
Yeah. And this is one thing that a lot of X-Men have these abilities, and often you'll find that, parents will say that their kids are frustrated, and it's often because the communication is not being received.
OK, častokrát trebárs u rodičov, ktorí vravia, že tí deti sú frustrované, to môže byť práve za to, že tá komunikácia ich nie je príjmaná.
Yeah. And this is also just the tip of the iceberg of what's actually possible and available, because when you can communicate without words, with energy, it's like you can reach across the entire planet and communicate with everything that's available to communicate with.
A takisto toto je iba špic ľadovca toho, čo je tu dostupné. A my, keď sme schopní komunikovať bez slov, takto priamo s energiou, tak dokážeme tým pádom komunikovať s niečím na úplne druhej strane planéty. S tým, čo komunikácia je takisto schopné.
Can I have one more question?
Of course.
I would like to ask you actually, what do you love about facilitating the X-Men class?
Čo miluješ na facilitácii?
Like, what is it?
Čo miluješ na facilitácii kurzov X-Men a aké to je pre teba?
It's a great question. I think for me, my favorite thing is seeing people come to the class and they think that they're messed up and there's something terribly wrong about them. And then by the end of the class, they're laughing at themselves and they're excited about, creating their life. And there's like a weight that's been lifted off their shoulders.
Pre mňa to je skvelá otázka. Ja milujem najviacej to, keď vidím, ako niekto na môj kurz príde, je zaťažený tým, že si myslí, že nie je v poriadku a na konci kurzu sa na sebe dokáže smiať a naozaj je vidieť, ako keby taká obrovská záťaž im bola zdvihnutá z pliec.
And I started attending these classes for myself because I was getting so much change and I was learning so much about myself and the way that I function in the world. And so when I got all that, I was like, oh, people need to have this available to them. And so I became a facilitator to get it out into the world.
Ja som začal chodiť na tieto kurzy pre seba. Zistil som, koľko veľa zmeny mi každý tento jeden kurz dodal. Povedal som si potom, ľudia musia mať takisto prístup k takejto možnej zmene, za to som začal facilitovať sám.
Because when I started, I was very shy. I couldn't look people in the eyes. My life was not very creative. I wasn't having very much fun, and all of that, changed by using these tools. So I can tell you from personal experience, it works.
Keď som začal, tak som bol veľmi hamblivý, nedokázal som sa ľuďom pozrieť priamo do očí. V mojom živote sa toho veľa nedialo, nezabával som sa, nemal som toľko radosti a môžem povedať teda z osobnej skúsenosti, že tieto nástroje fungujú a že sa mi život zmenil.
This is actually amazing. I always thought that I am not X-Men and I have nothing to do with X-Men, but actually when I'm listening more and more all this stuff, I'm like, maybe this is actually for me.
Yeah.
Je to sranda, lebo vždy som si hovorila, že to sa ma netýka, nič predsa s X-Menmi nemám a čím viacej to ale počúvam, tak tým viacej mi dochádza možno práve tam je tiež niečo pre mňa.
Yeah, a lot of people come to X-Men classes, for someone else in their life, like a family member or a friend. And then after the class, they're like, oh, I think maybe I'm an X-Men as well.
A veľa ľudí sa účastní týchto kurzov pre niekoho iného, pre rodinného príbuzného alebo tak, kvôli nemu. A potom na konci kurzu zistia, že ale aj asi ja som X-Men.
Because, if you're one of those people that, you think about a friend and then a minute later your friend calls, or you've got, 60 different tabs open on your computer at all times, or you can't you know, do one thing for more than 5 minutes without getting distracted, you might be an X-Men.
Okay.
Áno, pokiaľ treba sedíte za počítačom a máte otvorených 60 záložiek vo vašom internetovom prehliadači, alebo treba dokážete robiť jednu vec iba na 5 minút a potom už vás niečo vyruší, alebo tá tretia vec bolo čo?
Nebo že ještě když vlastně, já ani nevím tady.
No, we got distracted, we didn't hear the first thing you said. A sme sa rozrušili, nepočuli sme, čo povedala.
Když si vzpomenete na nějakého přítele a on vám za 5 zavolá.
Hej, no keď si spomenete na
nějakého... na tebe, já úplně.
Tak jasné, no.
Jo.
I like it, it's already started.
Yes. Už sa začalo.
Very cool.
Okay, then I will say some also information in Czech for the people who would like to attend the class. So,
yeah, for sure.
Takže my začínáme vlastně tenhle kurz zítra. Bude to každý den po 3 hodinkách. Bude to, ty data jsou 28 až 31. A je to vždycky po 3 hodinkách. Bude tady s náma Sol, budeme mít určitě zábavu, takže se k nám kdykoliv přidejte, kdy budete, kdykoliv přijdete se k nám do zítřka, aby jsme potom mohli pokračovat pěkně v kurzu.
A čas je od 11. do 14. každý den.
Tak, a čas je od 11 do 14 každý den, takže se na vás určitě budeme moc těšit.
Yes, and we start this time tomorrow. So, you know, you don't have much time if you'd like to join this class, but there'll be plenty of other classes, and there's lots of other X-Men facilitators as well. So if it's something that interests you, check it out, and we'd love to see you and explore X-Men together.
Takže vlastne tak za 24 hodín už budeme začínať. Toto je ten kurz, ktorý je najbližší, hej. Ďalšie kurzy určite budú prichádzať, tak berte to ako pozvánku kľudne aj do budúcnosti. Existuje veľa rôznych X-Men facilitátorov a ak vás takáto téma zaujíma, tak si určite pozrite o tom niečo viacej.
Thank you so much, ladies. And
thank you.
Thanks everyone for watching. Bye.
Bye.